Welcome back to Mouselip's Chess Channel and my second YouTube video. Today I will talk about chess database applications that are available as free software. I run Linux, but the applications to be discussed are also available for Windows and Mac. My preferred application is called SCID-vs-PC, yet there are alternatives like SCID and ChessDB. SCID, SCID, is excellent software and is the granddaddy of free software chess database applications. SCID is an acronym that stands for Shane's Chess Information Database. Shane Hudson was the original author. ChessDB is based on SCID but doesn't appear to be in active development, and I have very little experience with it. That brings us to my favorite Linux chess database application, SCID-vs-PC. SCID-vs-PC is a fork of the original SCID. I prefer some of the additions that SCID-vs-PC offers over the original SCID, like the ability to generate engine versus engine tournaments. But the feature I like the most is that you can add player names to the configuration so that when you open a game by that player, the board orientation will automatically flip, if necessary, so that your player is at the bottom of the board. We'll see more about that in the future. Let's go back to my desktop and open SCID-vs-PC, and I will give you a tour of my current configuration and some of the things I do to use this. Of course, you have a great big board on the left, but I want to draw your attention to the bottom right, where I have what is called the database switcher. I have a Blitz database of 3,580 games, a rapid database of 290 games. Now it also says all/290. All means that it's not a filtered database. It's showing every one of the games. Up above it is my game list. And notice it shows game list rapid 290/290. If I go to Blitz, it says games of Blitz 3,580/3,580. Now let's say I want to look in my Blitz database of all the games featuring the Najdorf. So I could go to the clip database so that I'm not working on anything inside of these files, just working in memory. And I'm going to put the initial moves on the board for the Najdorf. Open Sicilian. Attack the E-pawn. Cover the B5 square. That is the Najdorf. Now I could go to search current board, and it's going to search for this board. I need to tell it which database I'm going to search in. I'm going to search in my Blitz database, and it'll now show over here 192/3,580. So there are 192 games of the Najdorf in my Blitz database. Now let's take a look real quick at the top right. And I've got several things here. One says player information, one says tree, one says best games, and then there's a Stockfish engine window. We'll get more to some of these later. But in my Blitz tree window, you get some information about how many games were played here. You'll see that Bishop G5, the continuation with Bishop G5, occurred 50 times, scored 48% for white. All these percentages are referring to white. Bishop E3 won 45.5%. But I want you to notice down here in the game list that there's a lot where I played white, and there's some where I played black. There's quite a bit on both sides. So let's say I want to see just the games that I played in the Najdorf. I would have to go back up here to search again, general, and then I'm concerned with black, so in the black I'll put Mouselip, my name, and you need to be careful here. I don't want to reset the filter, because if I reset the filter, it will go back to searching 3,580 games. I want it to search within the current filter. So I restrict filter and I'm going to click search. Notice that the number of games down here went down to 147 out of 3,580. But also notice that my tree window did not change, because this is still looking at the entire database. So now we come to the beauty and the power of the clipbase. The way I can copy games over or filtered games over to the clipbase is to drag and drop Blitz, the Blitz database, filtered database, over to the clipbase. So I'm going to left click and hold, drag it to the clipbase and drop it. Now you'll notice the clip database shows all /147. So these are all games. Now in my game list, once I click this, it's all going to be with me playing black. And now I can create a window by right clicking, more, and create a tree window. And now it pops up a tree window up here. And the tree of the clip base shows that most of the games here continued with bishop e3, which is the English attack, and it scores 51.6% against me. Remember that these percentages are all referring to white. So I actually lose a little bit more games here. The next two popular moves, bishop c4 and bishop g5, score less than 50% against me. But here's one, bishop e2, that I apparently have trouble with. Because with bishop e2, white wins 58.6% of the time against me. So I need to look at, if I'm going to continue to play the Najdorf, I'm going to have to look at the bishop e2 continuation and figure out how to play better against it. If we click on bishop e2, you can see that most of the time I had played e5 against it and lost 67.5% of the time. Whereas I had 3 games where I played e6 and I won every single one of them. So I did figure it out. I need to play e6 and not e5. Now this is just a general tour of SCID versus PC, and we'll go more in depth in a little bit. But I want first to show you how to download your games so you have a database of your games from Lichess and from chess.com that are divided up into Blitz, Rapid, and if you play daily you can also make a daily database, but I'm really only concerned so much with the live games for my own.